Good morning, students. Today we discussed about the chapter Reproduction in Organism, plus 2 first chapter in botany. Good morning, students. Today we discussed reproduction in organisms. In this chapter, the first topic is lifespan. Lifespan means the period from birth to the natural death of an organism. That means an organism is birth at a specific time, and natural death means not the accidental or other cause of death. That means an organism's lifespan may be changed from one organism to other. For example, in this category, elephant about 60 to 90 years of age an elephant is normally lives. In the case of rose, 5 to 7 years. In the case of dog, 15 to 20 years. Butterflies lives 1 to 2 weeks. Crow about 50 years. Banana tree 10 to 15 months. In the textbook, in the case of banana tree, there is a contradiction. That means 25 years is mentioned. That means banana tree has various variant. Some of the variant may live as 25 years through their sucker modification. Sucker means നമ്മൾ വാഴക്കന്ന് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയും. That kind of sucker modification that banana tree may live as 25 years. But normally the banana trees lives 10 to 15 months. Then cow 20 to 25 years. Parrot 120 years. We know that parrot is a small bird, but their lifespan become 120 years. Then crocodile 60 years. Horse 60 years. Then fruit fly 30 days. Fruit fly means Drosophila melanogaster. It is a kind of small type of fly. Its lifespan become 30 days. Then rice plants 3 to 4 months. Then tortoise 100 to 150 years. That means a tortoise is the longest lifespan organism that now present in the world. Then banyan tree. Banyan tree means Ficus bengaliensis or Ficus religiosa, Ficus species that lives 200 years or more. The common name of banyan tree is peepal tree. Then, in the case of angiosperm, angiosperms lives more than 200 years. For example, in the case of Cycas and Pinus, they lives more than 200 years. Banyan tree is an angiosperm. In the case of gymnosperm, Cycas and Pinus belongs to gymnosperm. This gymnosperm lives more than 200 years. Then, unicellular organisms are said to be immortal. Immortal means they have no death, because when such organism matures, they undergo division, binary fission, budding, etc. So there is no natural death. That means such organisms are lives through their daughter cells. Daughter cells means the uh, same type of organism that form through binary fission, budding, etc. For example, this is a simple image of binary fission taken place in bacteria. In this, a cell that undergoes two cells last, and that two cell again divided to produce four cells and so on. This type of division is known as amitosis. Amito An example for amitosis is prokaryote, and also the daughter cells produced through binary fission, and that kind of reproduction is known as clones. clones are carbon copy of an individual. Then there are two types of reproduction present. First one is asexual reproduction. The offsprings are produced by a single organism without the involvement of gametes. That means there is no gamete formation. It is the simple method of reproduction and it is the primitive method of reproduction also. Now also present. Then the second one is sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, offsprings are produced by the fusion of male and female gametes. Male and female gametes fused to produce zygote. Zygote is a single cell from the whole organism is produced. Then first we discussed about asexual reproduction. The offsprings thus produced are called clones because they are morphologically and genetically identical to the parent. Clones are called carbon copy of a single parent. The clones can be produced through a technology called cloning. We know that Dolly is a sheep produced by Ian Wilmot is a clone, but cloning is not to be done in animals because there are some law issues by producing such organism. But in the case of small microorganism, such asexual reproduction is common. For example, budding in yeast. We know that yeast is a fungi. Budding taken place in yeast. Then binary fission in amoeba, bacteria, etc. That means binary fission. We see the image before. Binary fission taken place in bacteria and amoeba. Then zoospores are a special asexual reproducing structure present in simple algae and fungi. Zoospores means motile spores. Through water, zoospores are moves. And also conidia. Conidia is a special reproducing structure present in fungi that we studied in plant kingdom in +1 chapter. Then these are some vegetative reproductive structure present in plants. First one is bulb in onion. Bulb in onion means it is a leaf modification and stem modification present in onion. Then tubers of potato. We know that potato is a underground stem modification. It has nodes, internodes, etc. The eye of potato represent the nodes. Then stolon, chrysanthemum. Stolon also present in jasmine. A portion of the plant bends and touches the soil and that portion again produce new plant. Then comb in colocasia and amorphophallus. These are special underground stem modification present in colocasia, amorphophallus, etc. Then conical roots in carrot. Conical roots in the case of carrot, radish, etc. they are root modification for food storage. Then stem cutting. We know that some plants if there is seed present, their seed does not germinate. In the case of China rose, normal rose plant, etc. there is no visible seeds. So their stem is act as a vegetative reproducing structure. So they are vegetative reproducing structures. Then another types are budding. Budding present in yeast. A small bud is produced from yeast and that small bud reproduced or detached from the parental body and produces a new yeast. About 90 minutes is required for producing a bud or reproduction in yeast. Then binary fission in amoeba and bacteria. Zoospores, example Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is considered as a monoreal members and also it is also considered as a algal member. That is a contradiction because some scientists include it in bacteria or some other category and some members consider it as algal member. Then conidia in penicillium. Conidia are a special type of spores that produce in unfavorable condition, and during favorable condition these conidia detaches from parent body and germinate as a new plant. Then gemmules in sponges. Sponge. We studied it in porifera group. These sponges produce gemmules. These gemmules germinate as a new plant. Then another structure related to gemmule is gem makeup. Gem makeup is a vegetative structure present in Marchantia, that is liverworts of bryophyte. Then some vegetative propagation methods are runner, rhizome, sucker, tuber, offset, bulb, etc. Runner. These runners are present in grass. Equivalent to runner, the next structure is offset. Runner is present in land and offset is present in water condition. For example, for offset is Hycornia crassipes, that means water hyacinth. And the next one is rhizome. An example for rhizome is ginger. Then sucker, that we studied earlier in the case of banana. Then bulb, that also we studied in the case of onion. Then the term asexual is used for small animals while the term vegetative is used in the case of plants. That means asexual is used for small microorganism and vegetative is used for plants. Both are equivalent words. One is used for one group and another is used for another group. Then the next important topic is terror of Bengal. The aquatic angiosperm, Eichhornia crassipes species, commonly called water hyacinth, involved in this phenomenon. Remember the word water hyacinth or Eichhornia crassipes. That is the offset mode of asexual reproduction spreads the plant wide. They drain oxygen from water and deplete the fauna, not only the fauna and also the flora. Fauna means aquatic animals and flora means aquatic vegetation, means plant groups. It is introduced in India due to its good in flowering. A blue color flower is produced by this plant and the collaborate blooming of the old plant get a aesthetic effect in the nature. Due to this effect, it is introduced into India, but it is a negative. It produces a negative impact in Indian aquatic field. In ginger potato, the new plant originates from nodes, that is from stem modification. Ginger and potato, they are treated as underground stem modification, while sweet potato is a root modification. The plant Bryophyllum means Ilamulachi. The leaves act as a new plant origin. From the leaf itself, small nodes are produced. Small buds are produced. From that buds, new plants are originating. This is an image of water hyacinth in an aquatic field. The rapid offset mode of reproduction can help these plants to spread wide in this aquatic field. Then we move to sexual reproduction. Male gamete plus female gamete resulting zygote, that is fusion of male and female gamete produce zygote. This zygote undergoes division and produce embryo, and embryo again divides and differentiation taken place and produce new offspring. Before entering to the reproductive stage, plants and animals have stages called. These two stages are different terms for animals and plants. In the case of animals, the term is called juvenile phase. In the case of plant, it is called vegetative phase. In this chapter, we discussed all about plants, animals and microorganisms. So both the terms are familiar. Then these stages are before the reproductive stage. First one is juvenile, that is in the case of animals, and the second one is vegetative, that is in the case of plants. Then plants. There are different types of plant group. That means annual, biennial and perennial groups that we can discuss using an image. In the case of annual, the first image, there is a germination. First germination, then growth, then flowering, then death. That means in the case of annual plants, a single season is required for germination, growth, flowering and death. So that is why it is called annual. And the third image, biennial. In the case of biennial plants, 2 season or 2 year is required for their growth and reproduction. First one is germination, then growth. After this growth period, they undergoes dormancy due to unfavorable condition. Again from this dormancy, they starts growth during favorable condition and flowering, then death. So there is a 2 stage. First one is in first season and second one is in second season. That is why this kind of plant is known as biennial plants. And the second image, perennial. In the case of perennial plants, the first stage is germination, then growth, then flowering, fruiting, etc. Then the canopy undergoes a dormancy period. Not the complete plant, only the small branches undergoes a dormancy period. Again that branch, growth, flowering, dormancy, and that cycle continues. So the plant body stay there. For example, in the case of a mango tree, during summer season, it get flowered and fruit formation taken place. After that, the plant mango tree is stayed there. There is no flowering and fruiting for the next several months. Again that the same cycle taken place in summer season and so on. Such a kind of several year cycle is known as perennial plants. So plant life cycle are of three types: annual, biennials and perennials. Examples for annuals are most of the grasses, and biennials some of the beetroot, etc. Then some plants show unusual flowering. In the case of bamboo, once in lifetime, generally 50 to 100 years. That means in between 50 to 100 years, a bamboo tree flowering taken place and produce several kilogram of rices around it. Then it dies, and so on. In the case of Strobilanthes kunthiana, commonly known as Neelakurinji, in the Western Ghat, it flowers once in 12 years. In Kerala, Munnar region, it flowers around 2006 September October season. Then it flowers during 2018 August September October season. During that 2018 there is a flood in Kerala, so that the blooming aesthetic effect can't be visible due to such a miserable condition. Then, in the case of animals, in the case of domesticated fowl, clear differentiation of life cycle present. That means juvenile phase and reproductive stage can be visible, but due to some hormonal application for economic purpose, this may be changes. Then, in the case of placental animals, placenta is a membrane that covers the offsprings in the womb of mother, and in between placenta and offspring there is a fluid called amniotic fluid, and placenta is a biological membrane through which nutrients, oxygen, etc. are given to child by mother, and also the waste from mother is excreted through this placenta, and there is a connection between placenta and fetus called umbilical cord. Placental animal belongs to non-primates and primates. Primates means ape, monkey, man, chimpanzee, etc. They can stand in erect form, and also the thumb can be opposed to other four fingers, and more brain organism are such primates, and non-primates are mainly 4 feet. But both these non-primates and primates, a placenta is present, and the organism belongs to non-primates are cow, goat, dog, tiger, etc. In the case of primates, there is a cycle present in primates female called menstrual cycle. We know about menstrual cycle, and also it can be detailedly studied in human reproduction chapter in zoology. And like the same menstrual cycle, there is a cyclic event present in non-primates called menstrual cycle. These menstrual cycle and menstrual cycles are present in female organism. Then some organisms are seasonal breeders. Seasonal breeders means the organism can breed only during a specific season, and the maximum breeding occurs through a specific season. For example, in the case of dog, tiger, etc., they have a specific season for breeding, and maximum chance of producing offspring is at that season. But in the case of human, they are continuous breeders. Continuous breeders are organisms that can breed during every season. Such organisms have chance to produce offsprings in every season. So, human belongs to continuous breeders group. Then the next topic is senescence. Senescence is a new topic, but we are familiar with it. It is otherwise called old age. It is one of the criterion for end of reproductive phase. I am not completely agreed with this statement, end of reproductive stage, because in the case of human female, menopause taken place during 50 to 55 years old. That means end of reproduction taken place at 50 to 55 years. But in the case of human male, the end of reproduction does not take place during that period. That means their reproduction capacity will remain same for until death. So the next term is correct. That is, the cell lost the normal metabolic activity. During senescence, the cells lost the normal metabolic activities. That is, the oxygen sensation, and also the cell and cell wall shrinks, etc. taken place. But the reproductive cycles and giving birth can done only by human female, human and other animals females. That property is given to female by God. So that is why I think this term is used. That means it is one of the criterion for end of reproductive stage. So senescence is the word that is commonly used for old age. That means it is a technical term. Then we move to events in sexual reproduction. First one is pre-fertilization, and the second one is fertilization, and third one is post-fertilization. That means fertilization is the actual event. So before fertilization, after fertilization, that is pre-fertilization and post-fertilization. So we first discussed about pre-fertilizational events. Pre-fertilization is further divided into gametogenesis and gamete transfer. First we discussed gametogenesis. Gametogenesis means the process of formation of gametes is called gametogenesis. There are two types of gametes, homogametes or isogametes, and heterogametes or anisogametes. We human beings belongs to heterogametic or anisogametic organism because human male produce sperms. These sperms are microscopic, small and motile, while in the case of female produce egg or ovum. They are large, non-motile. This type of different kind of gametes are known as heterogametes or anisogametes. But in the case of some algae and small microorganism, homogametes or isogametes are produced. That is, they are morphologically and visibly same, but genetically one is positive and other is negative, or one is male and other is female. The male is normally called anthrozoids or sperms. Then female gamete is normally called ovum or egg. Then some technical specifications. That is, male and female reproductive structure in same plant is called monoecious, called monoecious. Some mistakes are present in this text. Male and female reproductive structure in same plant is called monoecious. For example, most of the angiosperms are monoecious except some. If male and female reproductive structure in different plant is called dioecious. Example, papaya, myristica. Papaya means carica papaya, kaplanga എന്നൊക്കെ വിളിക്കുന്ന ചെടി. Then myristica means jadika എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്ന ചെടി. In this papaya and myristica, male and female plants are separate. So that condition is called dioecious. In the case of monoecious, male and female reproductive structures are present in same plant. For example, rose, China rose means hibiscus, coconut, cucurbits, etc. While in the case of coconut and cucurbits, in a same plant, male flower is one is male flower and another is female flower, and male flower is known as staminate flower and female flower is known as pistillate flower. While in the case of hibiscus, rose, etc., the same flower contain both staminate part and pistillate part. So such condition is called bisexual. That means in the case of monoecious contain both bisexual and unisexual. Means monoecious, for example, monoecious bisexual flower is hibiscus and normal rose, etc. And monoecious unisexual example is coconut, cucurbits, etc. And dioecious plant example is papaya, myristica. And also we studied earlier in plant kingdom chapter the cycas. Male cycas and female cycas are different. That means cycas plant of gymnosperm is a dioecious plant, while in the case of pinus, male cone and female cones are present in the same plant. So that condition is called monoecious. Male flower is called staminate flower, female flower is called pistillate flower. In animal, the bisexual condition is called hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite means male and female reproductive structures are present in the same organism. For example, earthworm. In a diploid plant body, meiosis has to occur to produce a haploid gametes. That means if an organism's body is diploid means 2n condition, the gamete must be haploid, because if the gamete is produced the same ploidity, the offspring must be double the chromosome number of the organism. For example, in the case of human male has 46 chromosomes and human female has 46 chromosomes. Sperm contain 23 chromosomes only and ovum contain 23 chromosomes only. So that the offsprings produced by fusion of male and female gamete produce 46 chromosomes. Otherwise, the offsprings contain 92 chromosomes. So it may change the entire evolutionary principles. So generation after generation, the chromosome number does not change due to this phenomenon. So a diploid organism, the gamete must be reduced to half. This is achieved through a process called meiosis or reduction division. So some organisms and their 2n condition and n conditions are mentioned here. In the case of human, the 2n condition chromosome is 46 and n condition is 23. So in any organism, the reduced condition or gametic condition can be half the chromosome number. Housefly 12, 6. Then rat 42, 21. Dog and so on. In this chart, you can see a fern called Ophioglossum. In the case of Ophioglossum, 1260 chromosome is present in Ophioglossum and 630 chromosome is present in gametic cells. That means Ophioglossum is the organism in which maximum number of chromosome is present. So remember the fern Ophioglossum. Ophioglossum get the name by its structure, means it can be visible as like that of a snake, means our cobra snake. It look like say cobra snake. Then same organism, that means same animals cannot be same chromosome number, and also same plant cannot be the same. For example, a species of plant A and another species of plant B. That species A and another species B does not have the same number of chromosome. And also in the same condition, a animal A and another animal B, both are in different species and that does not have the same chromosome number. But a species A plant and another species B animal may have same chromosome number. That means organism does not, or different organism does not have the same chromosome number, and different animals does not have the same chromosome number, and also different plants does not have the same chromosome number. But an animal and a plant maybe have same chromosome number. Then next one is gamete transfer. In most cases, male gamete is motile and female gamete is stationary, except in some algae. In some algae, both the male and female gametes are motile because they are present in aquatic condition. So both the gametes can be motile. Then medium is required for the transfer of male gamete. In bryophytes and pteridophyte, water is the medium. In the case of human beings, semen, that means sperm along with the seminal fluid, plasmal fluid is known as semen. This seminal fluid facilitates the movement of sperm, and bryophyte is known as amphibians of plant kingdom because in the case of bryophytes, water is required for the transfer of gametes. If water is not present during summer season, bryophyte distribution is limited. Their spore remains in soil for obtaining the favorable condition. Then male gametes lost during transport. So for compensation, numerous male gametes are produced. That is, if we think the human beings cases, only one egg or two egg or few eggs are present. Normally only one egg is present, and in rare cases 2 or 3 eggs are present. And for this limited number of ovum, numerous, that means million and billions of sperms are present. That because during the transport of male gamete there is a chance of destroying, and there is a chance of probability to make this ovum. So due to this problem, the male gamete is numerously present. In higher plants like angiosperm, the pollen grains transfer occur. That is, in That means self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination means within the same plant, within the same flower, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is known as self-pollination. And cross-pollination means from one plant to another plant, pollen grain transfer is known as cross-pollination. Plants also prefer cross-pollination because self-pollination is limited by a process called self-incompatibility and other methods. That methods can be discussed in the next chapter called sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Then gymnosperms also have pollen grains, and in the case of gymnosperms most of the case wind is the pollination method because there is no fruit and flower is present in gymnosperm. So nectar, reward nectar is absent in the case of gymnosperm. So the pollen grains normally transferred through wind. Normally winged means chiragulla, winged pollen grains are present in gymnosperms so that they can fly through air easily. Then then fertilization. The next event is fertilization. The term syncamy is commonly called. Fertilization means the fusion of male and female gamete, and the technical term that can be used is syngamy. The fusion of male and female gamete is correctly termed as syngamy. Fertilization means fusion of male gamete with other molecule is also termed as fertilization, but while the term syngamy is normally used for the fusion of male gamete with female gamete. There are two types of fertilization, that is external fertilization and internal fertilization. External fertilization means the fertilization occurs outside the body. For example, in the case of frog, tadpole is the offsprings, and the frog lay egg in water medium, and male frog fertilizes the egg so that the numerous egg and numerous sperms are produced, because there is a chance of destroy and predation may be occurred. Then internal fertilization. In the case of human, monkey, primates, non-primates, etc., internal fertilization is occurred. That is, we studied in ampulla isthmus junction of uterus, the fertilization occurred in the case of human beings. That means it is taken place inside the body of human or other organisms female body. So there is more safe than external fertilization, so that the female reproductive structure, that is egg, is limited due to this care. Then next one is parthenogenesis. That means unfertilized egg develops into an embryo is known as parthenogenesis. Example, honeybee. In the case of honeybee, the chromosome number is 32, so that the egg contain 16 chromosome. Egg means the gamete, female gamete contain 16 chromosome. The male honeybee fertilizes some of the female egg, means female laid egg, so that eggs become fertilized and produce 32 chromosome animals, while some of them not fertilized by this male honeybee, so that they become unfertilized and Both the fertilized egg and unfertilized egg develops into embryo. So the fertilized egg develops as 32 chromosome offsprings and unfertilized egg develops into 16 chromosome organism. So in honeybee colony, 32 chromosome honeybee and 16 chromosome honeybee is present. This 16 chromosome honeybee formation is known as parthenogenesis. Not confusing the fact that parthenogenesis is not parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpy is another term that we can discuss later. Here parthenogenesis means unfertilized egg develops into an embryo is known as parthenogenesis. Then post-fertilizational event, that means after fertilizational events. Zygote divides mitotically in diplondic life cycle. That means we know that there are three types of life cycle: haplondic, diplondic, haplodiplondic. We are belongs to diplondic type of. This haplondic, diplondic and haplodiplondic are mentioned in the case of plants, but if we stated in the case of these classification in animals also, we belongs to diplondic type of organization because our zygote is in 2n condition. Our zygote is in 2n condition. By division of this 2n zygote, the 2n embryo is produced. Embryo means Bruno. This embryo can further divides and produce the fetus. So zygote divide mitotically. Mitotically means equational division. But in haplondic life cycle, zygote divides meiotically because, for example, in the case of bryophytes, the plant body is gametophytic. So the zygote produced or sporophyte produced is divided by meiosis as to produce haploid spores. In small algae and fungi, zygote form a thick wall because in the case of algae, they are present in aquatic field. So there is a chance of desiccation of such zygote. So in order to avoid such a process, they form a mucilage covering, thick wall or a mucilage covering around the zygote. Zygote is a single cell from the whole organisms are produced. In the case of human, now we are about 55 kilogram, 70 kilogram, 100 kilogram or more, etc. While from a single cell we are produced or we are born. That single cell's name is zygote. That means zygote is the single cell from the all organisms are produced. Then next one is embryogenesis. The process of formation of embryo from zygote is termed as embryogenesis. Normally in the case of human, the zygote is in 2n condition. The zygote divide mitotically or equational divisionally and produce 2n condition embryo. Then this embryo further differentiated and produce our various organs, and the offsprings from the zygote, the fetus and offsprings are further developed. Then based on zygote development inside or outside the body, that means zygote development may be outside or may be inside. Based on zygote development inside or outside the body, there are two types of organisms. That means oviparous. Oviparous means egg laying animals. Egg laying animals, for example, birds. Birds belongs to egg laying. A calcareous shell is protecting these zygote, and further division and embryogenesis taken place outside the body. For example, in a egg, normal chicken egg, normal egg, the yolk of egg is the yellow yolk of egg is the zygote, and the further division of this zygote taken place outside the body. Then next one is viviparous. Viviparous means giving birth organism. Giving birth organism means they give birth to organism. For example, human beings. Human female giving birth to new one. Then in the case of plants, the ovule means the egg containing portion develops into seed. That means fertilized ovule. The correct term is fertilized ovule converted as seed. And a protective covering called pericarp is present. That is ovary. That means a ripened ovary develops into fruit. The two terms are a fertilized ovule converted as seed and a ripened ovary is converted as fruit. That means fertilization is required for the formation of seed, while there is no requirement for the formation of fruit. That means fruit formation does not require fertilization. If there is no fertilization and fruit is formed, so such fruit formation is known as parthenocarpic fruit. Earlier I told about a matter that is not confusing with parthenogenesis and parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpy means unfertilized egg develops into an embryo in the case of honeybee, turkey, etc. While parthenogenesis means unfertilized egg. Parthenogenesis means unfertilized egg develops into an embryo in the case of honeybee and turkey, etc. While parthenocarpy means ovary development or ovary ripening taken place without fertilization of ovule. That means seedless fruit is developed. Seedless fruit is developed. Such a phenomenon is known as parthenocarpy. There is an example for natural parthenocarpy, banana. In banana, the black spot inside the banana means banana is the aborted seed, and that process is called stenospermocarpy. The correct technical term is stenospermocarpy. Natural parthenocarpy fruit is banana. By inducing hormone, we can promote parthenocarpy. In hormone induced parthenocarpy, we can produce seedless grapes, seedless watermelon, etc. Then viviparous organism that we discussed earlier. Human beings is a viviparous organism, that means giving birth. Vivipary is a term. Vivipary, the plant group called mangroves show vivipary. Vivipary means mangroves are situated in marshy or salty areas. In such salty areas, if seed is or fruit is shed, they can't be germinated and produce new offsprings. In such a condition, from the plant itself, the seed germinates and roots are produces, small seedlings are produces, and after that it sheds to ground so that it can establish in the marshy land. Otherwise the seed can't germinate. Such a condition or such a phenomenon in mangroves is known as vivipary. Vivipary is shown by mangroves. In this image you can see the germinated seed from the plant itself. Okay, these are the topics that we can discuss in this chapter. I hope all of the content that you can familiar and understood. Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching this video. We can see in the next class with a new topic.